It's another week of Long and Hard. We're with the eponymous Taylor-Rae.
That's a big word.
Oh, yeah. That's your word of the day. Go look that up. She's like Seal or Cher. just one name.
Oh, that's what that means. I actually didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's like if one word describes you sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Reba. Prince.
I'm trying to think of them, but you're coming up with them too quickly. Anyway.
Yeah, so Taylor-Rae, good friend of ours, longtime friend. She is a BCCMA nominated artist as of this recording.
You might have to change that.
Might have to change that.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. She's a country singer based out of Vancouver, originally from Edmonton. That's how she knows us schmucks. So, she released her first album this year. It's called Backseat Driver. Came out a little earlier this year. Did a tour to promote it. You can find her album on Spotify, Apple Music, all your streaming platforms. She is played on the radio around these parts on the Ones stations or CBC XM. Or you can just live in fucking 2019 and listen to her on Spotify or Apple like a normal human being. So,
yeah, it was a great podcast. We got into a bunch of, questions about recordings and stuff that I kind of went way over my head because my extent of knowledge when it comes to this stuff is very limited, so it's really cool to see.
Yeah, we went for technical recording questions for whatever reason, but
she's like, guys, I want to talk about music.
Yeah. But gave us a little breakdown how she her career, told us about her album.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff.
Kind of the behind the scenes too.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff that you don't really get to hear about on the daily basis.
Yeah, which is pretty cool cool to hear that kind of in between, right? Like what really goes into it for creating an album, creating a song, playing live, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you see the created music and you get to see her play, but you don't really get to see all the goings-ons.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Well, without further... when we're releasing this, we need to... Which ad read do we do?
This would be probably November already.
Yeah, so you know what? I'm going to cut those in after, so stay tuned for some great products that are sponsoring us that we totally legit.
Press play.
Yeah, press play.
Press play.
Yeah. Maybe skip this part, but without further ado, here is Taylor-Rae.
Software and all that shit.
You probably know
Honestly,
more than us.
Not really.
No.
No. I typically, like, when I was recording the album, my producer, he'd be like, well, what do you think? I'm like, because I don't know any of the terminology. I was like, let's just, like, can we just make it a little more sparkly? It's like, I don't know what that means.
Give it a little more pizzazz.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There was only one time I got something back and I was like, oh my God, they know what sparkly means. Got it. Amazing.
So that's your recording company you've gone with forever.
Oh, yeah. It was not good.
So what made it more sparkly?
To be honest, I don't know what they did. It just sounded more like whimsical to the ear. I don't know.
Oh God.
Probably a little more treble, a little more reverb, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
I know what those
terms.
two words
yes,
are.
those make sense to me.
Yeah.
I've seen them on an amp somewhere or something like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It took a long time to get things done, and I think that's why. It's like, let's add drive onto this, thinking it was something completely different.
Okay.
So then I get the song back, and I'm like, oh, God, I hate that. What is that?
I didn't mean drive. I meant drive.
Yeah. So by the end of it, I knew, like, 5 terms.
Nice.
So I just go off of those.
Just repeat those.
Yeah. Or I talk to my band. I'm like, okay, so I want something to be like this, this, and this, and this. What's the word for that? and then they give it to me, and then I
Nice.
send an email.
Perfect. That's awesome. You're just the artiste. You just show up and sing and
Basically.
make it sound good later, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I always tell the guys, I'm like, we need to take a communication class, because we'll all be kind of not arguing, but having a disagreement on something,
But
and
kind of saying
we're
the same
all
thing.
saying the same
Yeah.
thing,
Okay.
but we all think we're saying something different. And then by the end of it, we're like, okay, that was so unproductive. We just spent half an hour on the same thing. But
So do you write like all of your own lyrics, all the music and everything, or I'm completely out of this? So I'm gonna like be doing the interview questions
Yeah.
because
yeah.
Pretend you're talking to him and not me, because
Yeah.
I know the answers to
Yeah,
most of
exactly.
Yeah.
But
So I'm gonna ask the dumb questions and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I write all of my stuff. There's a couple things that I like, you finish it and I had this one song that I performed for a year, and I would always kind of like mumble my way through the second verse because the lyrics sucked.
Okay.
And so then eventually I changed it all. And then
which song?
Heart in Different Places.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was like, the line was like, got that music and that dream. And I'm like, what? So I would just mumble it. Anyways.
Just kind of say the syllable, like.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, oh, it was so bad. So I eventually was like, I need to buckle down and actually fix this. And sometimes I get lazy with something where I'm like, oh, this needs a bridge. Maybe I'll just do some ooze because I don't want to write lyrics for it.
Some doo-wops.
Yeah. So sometimes, yeah, you kind of have to bring other people in at that point, because
Mhm.
you
You know,
get so
outside-
attached to what it
outside
was,
feedback.
even though you know it's bad. You're like, I need a different perspective here.
Gotcha.
So yeah. But the
that's really
band,
cool.
like I'll write like the guitar part. I mean, I'm not an amazing guitarist, but I can just like plug away. So I'll just bring it to them, and they kind of make up their own thing to it. And
Gotcha.
yeah, a little bit of trial and error.
I know, that's probably the whole process is trial and error, right? So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah.
Trial material, see what works and how the reaction is, and
Yeah.
go from there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I don't know. I have a hard time not writing like tongue-in-cheek songs, kind of. And I was
What do
like,
you
I
mean?
need to, well, just like dumb ones, like Incredibly Single,
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like that, where it's just kind of cheesy and and goofy.
So you have a hard time not writing those?
Yeah,
You just
or
find
just
yourself
if there's no
drawn
in between. It's
Oh,
like
okay, yeah.
either
super serious and
super
moody,
serious
or
and ballady, or
Yeah.
just like kind of meaningless lyrics where it's like saying I need to find somebody with a healthy bank account, like that kind of stuff.
yeah.
And so, yeah, the other day I pulled out one of my old songbooks because I was kind of looking to see if there was anything that I've written in the past like few years that's usable that hasn't already been used. And there was a song called Conversation Remorse about, you know, when you like go out drinking and then you say something dumb and the next day you think, oh God, why did I say that?
Yeah.
I've never done that in my entire life.
Yeah, me neither actually, but tell us about it, Taylor.
I try to do it less. I was even thinking about this. I'm like, oh no, like an hour and a half. There is no way.
Oh yeah, when you're
I'm not.
when you're
There's
just
no way I'm not going
going
to say
on.
something I
Yeah.
regret.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's about 60 some odd hours of us just talking on the internet now, and there's got to be some stupid stuff in there somewhere. So
Yeah, that's you can't listen back.
no.
Otherwise,
We
you
have
just
to, but
nitpick
you
it.
should.
Yeah. So bad. So yeah, I'm really working on not caring as much, but I mean, I'm not very good at it because I tend to just talk myself in a hole. Like even on stage, I'll start I'm like, oh, this will be a funny joke, but I have not planned out a punchline or anything. So I kind of set it up and then I stop and I'm like, okay, let's do the next song.
Yeah. So Conversation Remorse, was it a usable song in there at all, or do we have a
I
preview of
don't-
the next single, or
Definitely not the next single. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's funny. Like I would like to play it somewhere, I think. But then a part of me is like, should I even make people spend time learning this song? Because it's just like kind of mindless.
Yeah.
But you know, it's funny.
I think as an artist, you have to have a fine balance of caring and
Yeah.
not caring, because you
Yeah.
have to like push stuff out there, and you also have to care about the material, but you also have to not be a perfectionist in that you never release anything.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, even for this podcast, I've we've run into that too, where it's,
Yeah.
oh, you just kind of have to stop caring
Yeah.
and push
yeah.
stuff out.
Just put it out.
Well,
yeah.
stuff like this, it's like there's no kind of book for it, so you never. There's never like a this is done. It's more of a okay. Well, I've been working on this album for a year and a half. It's pretty good. Let's release it.
Yeah.
I mean, like to the public, it could be amazing.
Totally.
To you, it's
Well,
always going to be just
yeah,
pretty
you
good,
just
right?
you just nitpick it, right? So even like we put out the Nashville music video. I think I've watched it like a total of 4 times because I'll stare at it and I'm like, ooh, that wasn't. No, we did that wrong or something like
Yeah,
that. You pick
right.
it apart and I'm like, there's no point in picking it apart because it's already out there. So
I mean, people give you feedback and you take it
Totally.
or go from there. And
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
most definitely.
it's true.
Yeah, you can get caught up in your own head pretty easily, I guess. Right?
Oh yeah.
So,
Well, and you have people who are like, "Oh yeah, that's not my favorite song, even though it just got released." Like, nice.
Thanks, guys.
I didn't need to know that.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So you can't please everyone, I guess, right? So,
No. Well, music and this too is so
100%.
subjective, right?
Yeah. yeah.
So one person could think, "Oh, that's a terrible song," and then another person's like, "That's my anthem." So I'm
Right.
like, I don't know.
Ah.
You're just like flying by the seat of your pants.
Some things resonate with some people.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
others
exactly.
just don't. So,
Yeah.
and I think if you're everybody's cup of tea, you're doing it wrong. So,
Yeah. I would agree, even though I would really like to be everybody's cup of tea.
I think everybody would, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, there's still going to be the people out there who
Yeah.
are just like,
Totally.
I don't like country
Yeah.
music as a whole, and then it's
Yeah.
just like, well, okay, well, I guess
Yeah.
I'm not your cup of tea, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that this year because I've like started putting stuff out. So when we're bringing it to radio, I had like 0 thick skin before the first week I got my tracking report.
'Kay.
And then I was like, oh God, I need to figure this out because I want to quit right now.
Well,
So-
so is that like the first time you saw the numbers,
Well,
Or-
it was
or
more
what?
like
or just getting the
because
comments
the music
from,
directors, yeah. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
send you comments and stuff like
Right,
that.
okay.
So, and it is funny because one person will be like, "It's too traditional," and then the one below it is like, "It's too modern." Like, I don't get it.
It's like
Yeah.
wine tasting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
the experts can't agree on anything.
yeah. So, I was definitely the first one I got after we released "Take Me Out Dancing." It's like, this is it. Let's throw in the towel, cut the album, whatever.
Yeah, scrap it.
Yeah.
This is junk.
Yeah.
Gonna go work it. This is, I don't know, Tim Hortons.
Go back.
Yeah.
I worked there for 7 days. Let me
Yeah,
tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
you need thick skin to work there too.
Tim Hortons? Oh, fuck yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I called in the middle of the night because I couldn't work there anymore. I called in the middle of the night because it was a 24-hour Tim Hortons, and I knew my manager wouldn't be in. I was like, "Oh, can you just tell him like I can't work here anymore?"
Just avoid any like resistance or
Yeah.
negative feedback.
Starts
Like, I
calling
don't
you.
like confrontation.
Starts calling you. You just don't answer ever again.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. No, I get that for sure.
Oh my god, yeah, it's the worst.
You know how Gmail has like schedule send for like.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So like schedule an email for like 4:59 p.m. on a Friday, so they can't give you any feedback.
That's so true. Yeah.
Passive aggressiveness.
Yeah. I find that, yeah, that's me with my email though. I'll just put it off. If there's somebody that I don't want to give an answer to, I find that I just like take forever to respond and then realize, oh God, it's been 2 weeks and we've got the event
Whoops.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, great.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So, anyways, before that lovely Tim Hortons tangent. Oh yeah. So the
Spilling
thick-
water everywhere,
The
goddammit.
the thick skin and the feedback from the radio
Yeah.
directors, I
Yeah.
guess, right? So that was probably like your first experience with
Kind of.
that, right?
Yeah.
So
Because everybody else is like,
it's kind of a
is pretty cordial, right? When you-
positive
Sure.
feedback
Yeah.
loop
Yeah.
when it's
Yeah.
friends and family.
like you're
right?
putting
Yeah, yeah.
something out to
Yeah.
be judged.
Mhm.
And so then when somebody is not giving the
Judging it.
judgment you want, you're like, what?
Excuse me.
I thought everybody loved me.
Yeah, exactly. So like when I talk to my family, like they say I'm great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like this
My
song.
mom liked this.
My mom thinks I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's definitely a real thing. People
Oh
are.
yeah.
I think it's even more with our generation. It's like, well, your parents tell you're awesome at everything, and then you.
Totally. Like, validate me, please.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I call. Like, if I'm having a down day where, like, this is not working out for me, I call my mom because I know she's going to be like, they're all stupid today. They don't know anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, and that's what I want from her.
Yes. Perfect.
I
That's
don't
what
want
those
you
are
to
for.
say, Tay, you need to learn how to take criticism.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm looking for here.
Don't solve my problems. That's
Exactly.
not what I need.
Make me feel good.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
sure.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's pretty funny.
That's good. I mean, I guess you powered through.
A little bit,
Nonetheless,
yeah.
More or less.
Yeah.
Getting
no,
better at it.
It's good. Yeah. Well, and everybody has like I'm a different genre to everyone. Like, oh, you're rootsy. No, you're like just strict country. Nope, you're more of a rock edge. And I'm like, I don't honestly know.
Who am I?
When I'm filling out things, it's like, what's your genre? I'm like clicking everything because I'm like, apparently
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the thing with artists is people group you into some genre, but you think you're maybe something else, or you're like, I'm Taylor-Rae.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. Like, I'm in a choir, so we do a lot of soul songs and stuff like that.
Okay.
And yeah, and it's like you kind of try to bring that other stuff, like the soul side and all that, into your own music. But then people are like, that's not country though. You can't do that. It's not country. But I'm like, I don't know. Can't be too country. Can't be
Everyone
too
has
far off.
I find, I don't know. No, it's probably every type of music, but country maybe just because that's what I pay attention to. But everyone has the that's not real country sort of opinion, but they can mean so many different things, right? So
well, and country is so broad right now. Kind of. Well, it's more like pop R&B.
Yeah, exactly.
Snap.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a spectrum, and then there's you get a lot of more top four. It's a kind of a poppy trend, I guess, if you will. So then you get guys like my dad, who's in the country, who's like, this isn't real country. All right, so we're bro country, right?
Yeah,
so
it's crazy. So you don't really know what people want, I guess. When you're like, do I just commit to this whole commercial thing, but you can't really because you have to stand out, but not stand out too much. So I struggle with that line.
Yeah. And so we're probably a hard line to find. Anyways,
it's kind of
right?
bizarre,
So,
yeah. And then you could do something like totally by the book and it pans and you don't know why. So it's kind of a weird. You're just throwing it out there and seeing what sticks, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I never even really thought about that. Where it's like, how do I blow up? I need to be commercial, but not too commercial.
Totally.
And I need to be me. But apparently not to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's like you can't win for losing type of thing, right?
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's actually bizarre because you want to play the game a little bit, but I mean, I don't know to what extent. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because when we made the album, I didn't make it to be commercial. It was just kind of like just to have content out there and have like a body of work kind of.
Right.
But it turned out really well. Like having it go out to radio and having it do decently well, like that was kind of unexpected. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I think I would definitely make something more commercial, but I'd
next
have to,
time or what?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because you kind of like test the waters a little bit.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So we'll see.
Well, you probably you kind of have a lot of pre-existing content, right? Like it's sort of accumulated.
Yeah.
So we'll need to do something with this, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
it's probably better now to be when you go somewhere or to someone new, you can be like, go listen to my album X versus go look at my random YouTube videos, right? So
yeah, you have a lot more credibility actually having stuff out there instead of like calling a venue and being like, trust me though, we're really good.
Yeah.
So
we have our one friend who's a comedian, and we went to one of his shows.
Yeah.
And like he was the host of the evening.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a mix of open mic new comedians.
Yeah.
And then when the last guy was coming on, he's like, okay, I know I've said this next comedian's really hilarious a lot tonight, but then he's not actually funny. But this guy is actually funny, I swear this time.
That's funny.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Let you take the lead here, Josh, because
Me? Just
Yeah.
ask questions?
yeah, for sure.
So
Well, I know a lot of.
When were you
in-depth-
born?
yeah. So, what day of the week was it when you were?
what time of day? No, I'm just kidding. Because you were big into music throughout high school. I
Yeah.
still remember that. You played even at our grad. I
Yeah.
remember that.
yeah, Grease 2011. Whoop whoop.
Oh yeah. Any awards for that one, or
I don't know why.
they must be in
I
the
don't know
mail.
why I didn't win anything for that.
Yeah.
Could be my lack of acting skills, maybe.
Yeah. You're not a singer / actress.
No. I remember when I got Rizzo, I was like, "Oh, this is definitely not because I can act, because I'm not good."
What's Rizzo?
The character in Grease.
Oh, like
Okay.
the main chick? Is that no?
Well,
No, that's,
no,
which
like
the- I
the
don't know
their
edgy,
names.
the edgy one.
See, this is how much I've know Grease, is I know the song, the one song,
This
Yeah.
is bizarre.
but I
What?
don't know.
What's John Travolta's character's name?
Drawn.
John.
Drawn Travolta.
John
John
Travolta's.
Danny.
Okay,
Oh,
Scooby
okay.
Doo.
Oh my gosh. You guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know
well,
the chick's
never
name is
mind.
Sandy.
Yeah.
I know
What
the
were
girl's
we
name is
talking
Sandy.
about?
I do
It is
remember that.
Sandy
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah,
okay.
Sandy.
That I remember.
Because my ex-girlfriend one time wanted to go with them for Halloween, and I was like, nah, I'm going as Donald Trump.
That was a really good call.
It
was great.
Good costume pairing.
It was
Josh.
amazing.
Nicely done. Yeah.
Donald
Anyways.
Trump and Sandy.
Yeah. Sandy from Greece.
Fuck. So I know those two characters, and I know the
Right.
song. I know the song.
Okay. Well, this took a turn because you guys don't know Grease.
No,
so-
I've literally never watched the movie.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but you saw the
I don't
play,
remember,
so that's
but
almost
yeah.
as good.
But because the movie ends, doesn't their car like fly off
Yeah.
or something? It takes a really weird
What?
third act turn.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting
It
how
goes
that
from
happened.
like it's almost turns like sci-fi if there's flying cars. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
they
weird.
like drive off from the fair and the car just levitates into the sky.
Yeah, it's a strange.
See, I've never seen the
it's
movie.
a really weird turn from realistic high school musical
To Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Realistic.
Well, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't remember breaking out into dance and song in high school that much, but maybe there's schools out there that
Oh,
do
Speak for
that.
yourself,
Yeah.
man. Speak for yourself. You shouldn't come down that hockey
That
hallway
is
enough.
actually my
Oh, yeah.
dream, though.
What?
Like, I can't really do the dance move, but I always have this. Like, I would love to do like, you know, when everybody's coming out of classrooms and they come together
In like a
and like dance,
flying
but they
V
come
sorta.
out of the classrooms like this.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
I would
Oh, yeah.
love to do that.
I mean, FX has that huge calf. They're not using it to its fullest
no,
potential.
incredible. Yeah.
True.
There's a lot of tables to stand on. There's a lot of shit you can do with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I regret not doing as many flash mobs, I
Mhm.
guess.
I don't think were flash mobs a thing back then. Actually, that's probably.
Yeah.
I feel like that was peak flash mob.
That was like
Era.
peak
Era.
flash mob. Easily.
Yeah. Now it's like a weird old thing. I don't know.
Where
Yeah,
you're super lame if you do it.
yeah exactly.
Except we just love it.
Yeah.
So
I want to say.
All right, guys, let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go to the
yeah.
school.
Let's make a Facebook event. See if we can organize it. So.
this was actually a whole lead up to a flash mob. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
this is the
me
worst
doing
flash
it. Wow.
mob ever.
Brutal. Yeah. Oof.
Anyways, sorry. Okay, what was
I think the question was going like, when did you decide to make a go of it? was
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go.
question
Okay.
was
Wow.
going.
What
Okay.
a well thought out question.
Yeah, it
Josh.
was. We
Good
got
thing
into
you're here.
flash mobs. We got into
Yeah.
Grease. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no.
Well, I always wanted to be a singer, but then it got past the point of being like a fun like joke for everybody. I guess like where they're like, "Oh yeah, you want to be a singer just like everybody else your age, you know?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know. Like I think junior high-ish
Okay.
when I started doing like those little competitions and stuff.
Right.
yeah, I don't know if my parents thought it would go this far.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so I think probably them, but I mean, like going out to Vancouver and stuff, I knew.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's kind of just like you just plug along and then hope that you can actually make it a career, I
Yeah.
guess. So
Eventually.
yeah. So I've like always wanted to be a singer, but I didn't really know if that would happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Kind of just have
Yeah.
to jump
Yeah, like
off
you.
the cliff type of
I
thing.
think it wasn't till like last year when I thought, okay, like we're not doing a plan B type thing, where I was always kind of like,
okay.
well, I mean, I'm kind of at that age. If I want to go into education or something like that, I
Sure.
should just do it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, after the past year, it's kind of
Yeah.
that
That's,
part is
that's
done.
that
Yeah.
thoughts out of your mind type
Yeah,
of thing, which
exactly.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Burn the boats.
Burn the
no going
boats.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, gotten to some point of critical mass of being like, oh, this is
Yeah, like it
perhaps a
seems
thing
kind of
now.
doable
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
which
for
is
sure.
a nice spot to be, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can I don't want to say see the top, you can see the bottom of the mountain that everyone is climbing. I don't know. Does that make
Bottom of
sense?
I get it.
You
Yeah.
can, you can see the mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
It's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it makes
Yeah.
sense. Well, and and you just kind of learn the ins and outs a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Well, and it's totally based on your connections, like the whole industry, which I guess
Yeah.
is kind of like realty and stuff like that.
It's kind of life.
I think
honestly,
it is
the
life
more
in
you think
general.
about it.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think it is one of those things, though, you want it so bad that you kind of like get a little more riled up over things that you maybe shouldn't, if that makes sense. Like going into whatever interviews or performances and stuff, if it's one where you know there's even just one person in the audience that could like change the game for you, just like full on anxiety for like a week. It's terrible.
Oh, good.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's kind of like this weird up and down deal. But I'm attempting to adjust, but you know.
How's that going?
I'm really good at it when things are going really well.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's very easy to go with the flow when things are working.
Yeah. But it was
so.
like we filmed the Nashville music video and I was still working serving.
Right.
Serving breakfast, and so we had this day where there was like a 20-person crew and we had this whole theater and you felt like a rock star. And then the next morning somebody's like, can you get me cream and this and this? I'm like, no, actually.
You forgot my whatever. Yeah.
I'm a rock star.
Yeah, it was
I don't
really
need to take this.
it was a really harsh reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found myself like becoming less, like not as good of a server because I just felt like I deserve better. But you know,
You're supposed to kind of go the other way with that. It's like, oh, it brought me back down to earth and reminded me that I'm human like everyone else.
Is that why the service is so bad in LA?
Yeah.
I know I felt
I'll
like
have you know I'm a,
Oh my
I'm a
gosh.
I'm a
screenwriter.
budding actress.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it was like the second we got busy enough for me to stop having like a serving job. I was like, okay, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Yeah. Because it was kind of soul crushing a little.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
I could see
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and if it's just a job, right? So
Yeah.
You're looking for a
And-
way out.
Public service isn't my ideal job.
Cup of tea.
Yeah.
To go for a call back there.
Yeah. I remember because I was there for like a few years because it was perfect. It was like 2-3 days a week, and it was just mornings, and they were pretty flexible for like getting time off. And my last couple months there was this guy who like kept coming to the hotel. He's like, "You've been here for a really long time," and I was like, "Oh,
You're not supposed to notice that.
okay." Well,
Yeah.
oh God, I didn't even know what to say. That I just stared at him. I was like, I'm gonna give you cold coffee. I'm gonna make you wait 20 minutes for your meal.
I'm going to forget your cream when you ask for it.
Like, that was not very nice. I don't want to know that I've been here for 3 years.
No ice in your water for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just a little dose of reality, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
No,
I
that's-
find my emotional stability after leaving that job has definitely increased. So that's one of the
Oh,
highs.
good. Yeah. Just, I don't know, get away from those reality checks, perhaps.
Yeah.
Just eliminate
I
those
don't want a
altogether.
reality check, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's
I don't
good.
think anybody does.
Yeah.
No, it's terrible.
Nobody wants a reality check.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
and if you're doing what you actually really want to be doing, like, what can anybody tell you?
Totally.
So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Oh, it's true.
So, for the people who don't know you, like you released your first album this year, right?
Yep.
Right? It was
Yep.
June
8th.
6th, 8th, something?
June 8th, yeah.
June 8th.
Okay.
I should
7th.
know because I was there, but
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So, what was the... Because it seems like I don't know, whirlwind or whatever, kind of exponential thing where it came together and
Yeah.
really took off in a lot of ways quite quickly,
Yeah.
especially someone who's known you this whole time, like,
Yeah.
for your music
Yeah,
career
yeah.
and stuff,
Mhm.
right? So, I don't know, where did it start? Where was the day where you said, I have enough content to make a 10
Yeah.
song album or 12 songs or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it is?
Oh God. It was like a month before we went into the studio. It was kind of, I was trying to book gigs and stuff. And I mean, obviously a lot's changed in the past couple years. Like we've gotten a lot better and, and you kind of grow as an artist a bit, but I was trying to get gigs, but it's so hard because you don't have any content.
Right.
So it was kind of like, well, what's the next reasonable step here? We can't really do much more without having something,
Right.
like without having work and stuff like that. So then we went in the studio, recorded Take Me Out Dancing and Heart in Different Places. And yeah, and it just kind of went from there. But it was this, like, I feel like I spent a year and a half not sleeping and just like laying in bed thinking, what am I going to do with this? Because sometimes I'd think, oh my God, the songs are too different from like anything that's going right now. And yeah, it was just like a little bit of panic. And it's funny when you release a song because this song pops up. It's like, oh, fun, the song's there. But there's such a process behind getting the song out. Yeah. So it's a lot. Like I think the past year and a half, like that was the most stressed I've ever been. Cause then I'm like, oh, let's plan this giant party.
Right.
Cause I thought, well, I'm not just gonna have a 50-person party at like a place that we regularly have a show. So I rented this big hall, and once I booked it, I was like, oh God, now I have to like fill the place, have a show that people actually want to watch. And yeah, so I don't know. It was a bit of a gong show. It was kind of like you literally didn't know if you were going to pull it off until everything released and the show happened. It was kind of wild. But
So do you think the second album is going to be easier now that you have that first?
maybe.
Yeah.
I kind of hope so because I was really stressed. But
Well, it's kind of like the notion of, well, I've been here, I've done this before, so maybe the second one is going to be
yeah, I think it will be like I think now there would be a little bit more help behind it, I guess. A lot of it I kind of managed on my own and dragged people into it when I needed to, but I wanted to just know, like, if I was doing it, I knew it was getting done.
Sure.
So the second you give it to somebody else, like, okay, so the album releases tomorrow. Do we have anything? So yeah, and there were a couple of things that I gave to people that I was like, this is just a nice luxury if it gets done. But so I think I would be quicker to hand out jobs versus trying to take it all on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delegation.
Yeah,
As
and
they
not
call it in the business world, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
and not kind of having too many cooks in the kitchen.
Okay.
I used to like send out the songs to my family and everybody in the band and stuff, and then but when you get sending it out to those people, everybody has a different opinion.
Everyone has
So
their
then
2
you're
cents.
just as torn as you were before you sent it out.
You're pulled
so
in 100 different directions.
yeah, and you kind of like know in your gut what you should do, but you just second guess it because you're like, is that good? Because I didn't go to music school, so like I don't know,
Right.
but yeah, but it turned out well. But I think I would maybe like keep it more of like a producer me deal, trying to sort that out.
Like strip it down a lot.
Yeah, because it was every single person has a different opinion, just
Right.
like the radio trackers or
Yeah.
directors and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So yeah, it kind of made the job harder, where the producer would go, oh, what'd this person think of it? What'd this person think of it? I was like, I stopped sending it out. We're not doing that anymore. Because I'm sure I drove him crazy. Like, he spent a year going through revising songs, like, because I kept sending notes and listening to the songs and hearing something different that I didn't before. And like this one song, Heartbreaking, I got the first mix back and I was just like, this is perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
And I listened to it like 20 times in a row. And then after that 20th time, I was like, oh no, that note's flat there or whatever. And like finding stuff that didn't even really exist. And I sent him a text. I was like, this is flat. And he called me. He's like, stop listening. It's not flat.
Yeah.
But you get to the point where you don't
create
even know what you're
problems.
hearing
Yeah,
anymore, right?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
It's like when you say a word a lot of times and then it starts to sound weird or whatever.
Totally. Yeah. Or you spell it out and it's in a certain font. And you're like, is that how you spell about?
Yeah. Is that how I spell my first name?
Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah. I was just thinking that. I was trying to make a new website the other day and I typed about and I'm like, that doesn't look right.
That's a real thing for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh God, yeah.
I've
for
experienced
sure,
that
for
many times
Yeah.
in my life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you go into it just a little too deep. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, no, you got to back away.
It's kind of even the age-old, oh, what if I make a mistake?
Totally.
Playing, but most people won't even hear it or notice.
Yeah,
sort of
that's
thing,
the thing,
right?
right? Nobody would hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you're
Well,
just
because you're the only one who knows what it's supposed to be like.
Right,
So
yeah,
if it doesn't
exactly.
turn out like that, it's like,
Yeah.
well, nobody else cares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if someone really knows
Yeah.
your music, either you specifically or generally, but even so, I don't know if you're
Yeah.
enjoying a live concert.
Yeah.
You're not like, is this guy playing this bridge right?
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So,
It is funny. Like, my biggest thing going into a show is like, I don't want to forget the lyrics. Because that's the worst. You're coming up to a line and you're like, oh, what am I going to say? Your heart just sinks and whatever. So, but this one day we were playing a rodeo and Take Me Out Dancing. I forgot 2 lines of the bridge, like completely forgot them and literally just mumbled. Like, I don't know what came out of my mouth, but like, it was
You just
nothing.
blacked
There was
out
no
for a
words.
minute.
And nobody knew.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, we put so much time into like remembering stuff. I'm like, and I botched those 2 lines like very noticeably,
Yeah.
and nobody like even caught wind of it.
Yeah.
Like, cool, great.
Yeah. You guys are supposed to be fans of my music.
Yeah, and even the band, they're like, so I was like, oh my God, those words, like those were not even words. They're like, well, Tay, as long as you throw like a line from another part of the song, which is what I usually do. Like I forgot like an entire song one time because I was so stressed about knowing the lyrics. I ended up singing the same verse 3 times over. Every time.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of the song. I was like looking around. I'm like, sorry guys, I don't know what the lyrics are.
yeah.
And but even the guys didn't notice. I'm like, no guys, I literally didn't say words. They're like, what? Oh, well, we're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think everybody's so focused already on what
On
they're
their
doing.
own part,
Exactly.
Like playing
Right,
guitar
so-
or drums or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do in that moment of panic? Do you just open your mouth and hope something comes out?
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
here.
Well,
Yeah,
there was
okay.
actually, we had this one show and we were doing 9 to 5. It was our first time playing it. And I forgot the entire second verse and we're coming up to the second verse and it just kind of like loops. I'm like, oh no, I don't know what to do here. Like, and so I literally started wandering around the stage, going to each of my bandmates going, do you guys know the first line? No? Cool. Nobody knew the first line. So I was like, okay, well, we'll see what happens here. And I should have told them what I was going to do, but I went straight into the chorus.
Yeah.
And they all just like scrambled to get their parts. But, I don't know. I'm like, why can't you guys know my lines too?
Yeah,
So if I forget them.
Yeah. No, it's fun. Like talking to you guys and your band and their band after a show. Everyone's talking about how much they messed up, and we're all just like, "What?
It was
That was
amazing.
a great show." Yeah.
was
I didn't
the
even
best
hear
show
it,
ever.
Right? So
Yeah, it is. Well, at the Pandas fundraiser, because we played there, and I had an iPad for some of the songs that I like knew were gonna go over well, but I didn't totally know. And we were doing "Drive" by Alan Jackson, and there's a part where the music completely stops, and it's just me.
yeah.
And I had the lyrics right there, and I probably knew the lyrics anyways, but it's always if you kind of know them, you cannot have them on an iPad or something in front of you because you rely on it.
Sure.
And so anyways, the music cuts for me to sing the line, and I just looked around. Like, okay, well, I'll wait this one out, and then we'll kick back into the song. Like, I had nothing to say. It was the weirdest moment. Oh, my God. And the band always just, it's the looks, right? Ryan, my keyboardist, guitar, he plays like everything. He wears all of his expressions on his face, and so I look over at him. He's like,
Just so like disgusted.
couldn't believe what just happened. I'm like, okay.
Oh man.
It was pretty funny. You win some, you lose some, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we'll take a 2-second break here.
Cool.
Actually, hang on. I'm gonna fire this up.
He's gonna ask the question on the show.
I've learned to do this because
Yeah. Because content.
Content.
I think what you were saying though was, what does the band hear?
Well, yeah, no. So what? Because I get the premise of monitoring and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So
I.e. the headphones.
yeah, I'm curious what. So I'm always curious in say Rogers what the band is hearing on stage
Yeah.
compared to the audience, and
Yeah.
then even in a smaller venue or club or whatever, like. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Typically you have multiple monitors.
Right,
so everybody
right.
just kind of like hears what they need as far as cues and
Because
stuff.
you kind of have your own monitors, right?
Yeah.
Like for each
yeah,
instrument.
for the most
so,
part.
Yeah.
Typically there's 4 or 5 monitors on stage. So like the drummer, he would have more bass than any of us would. Like I typically don't get bass in the monitor because it doesn't help me with the key at all.
Right.
So
Oh yeah, I guess. Hey.
yeah, I just need like timing in the pitch. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I feel like, especially if you're drumming, particularly, because drums are so
Yeah.
damn loud, and if you're
Yeah.
in most smaller, medium venues,
Yeah.
you probably just have no goddamn idea what anyone is
Yeah.
playing, right? So
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like a lot of times you do just a line check or something if you're in like a show with a string of bands. And so it's so tricky because you check your line, but you
What's
check
a
your
line
line.
check for the
Sorry.
folks at home?
You check.
What's a monitor?
So you check like your monitor sound. So I check my level with vocals and guitar and stuff like that. But you do it all separately. So then when everybody comes in as a band, it's like a gong show because everybody's lines worked at that time when nobody else was playing.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Okay, I think I get it.
My experience in playing music is in my basement
Yeah.
with this guy and 3 other people.
And or garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garage is a really good venue.
Garage is a great venue.
Yeah.
I do specifically remember like your neighbors telling us to shut the hell up.
I believe that.
Point.
Josh, stop singing.
Yeah.
You're terrible.
Yeah. Other guys can play, that's fine. No more just axe that singer.
No more singing.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's dying.
No
Yeah.
good.
But even across venues too, because I mean, yeah, we're talking about Station on Jasper. Then I don't know, another venue.
Random bar in
Yeah.
X bar in X town, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah.
It's,
Wembley Stadium.
It's so different. Well, and it totally like changes the quality of your show.
Yeah.
Because if I'm more focused on the fact that like I don't know if I'm in the right key or whatever,
Sure.
it's just like it sucks because you're just focused on that. You can't really work on the performance side of it more as much as you want. So, but I mean, venues sound totally different when there's a group of people in there too, right? So, something that might seem super loud on stage when
Like
when
in a
you're sound
check?
checking
Yeah.
is totally different when it's a room full of people. So.
Oh, because it kind of dissipates the sound?
Yeah,
Or what? Okay,
yeah. Well, and a
gotcha.
lot of times, depending on your like, some sound guys are so good, but but a lot of times what happens is everybody ends up needing more, so they just keep turning the dials up instead of just like bringing everything down and then working from scratch, kind of. And so by the end of the show, you're just like you don't even know what you're hearing. It's bizarre. Like there's been shows where I started in the totally wrong key because I'm like I'm hearing myself, but I'm just like, it's all encompassing. I don't know. It's really bizarre. Does that make sense?
Kind of? I don't know. It's just...
It's like so much sound.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you're at Rogers, there's like
Yeah.
so much sound that you don't really know what you're hearing.
Right, you can't
make
pick
sense?
out the
Yeah.
sound. And then
Yeah.
especially if... I remember one concert I was at... I think it was actually still at Rexall versus Rogers. But we were in kind of crappy seats, so
Yeah.
against the back wall. But the way the music was reverbing off the concrete,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what song was playing
Yeah.
because it was just like
so
buzz
bizarre.
of noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did that. What's it called? We did this little mini set at Rogers Arena in Vancouver,
Okay.
and it was this stage set up in the middle of the arena, and we didn't have in-ears, so we were hearing kind of the monitor sound, but mostly the bounce. So everything,
really?
all of our stuff was like kind of off time because.
It was sort of delayed.
Yeah, it was so weird. So you were
That's
kind
so
of
weird.
hearing
That's
it,
really
but you were
weird.
more so hearing the bounce back.
What
It
was that
so
for
weird.
again?
I honestly don't know. I think it was for some like Christian
Oh, okay.
something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was singing with Warren.
Oh,
So-
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You'd think it would be slightly more well funded to have
It was
in-ears
bizarre,
or something
yeah.
for you guys, right?
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but
Mm-hmm.
it was really hard to know what you were hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Are in-ears like,
sorry.
When
yeah,
you
in-ears-
watch,
like when people...
yeah, when you
yeah.
watch any live artists, they have
Yeah.
weird little
Yeah.
headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a personalized mix,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just you get your perfect
Gotcha.
levels.
Yes.
So yeah.
Also, for the folks at home, monitors is something so you can hear yourself talk, right?
Yes.
That's why when podcasters have headphones, it's so they can hear their own voice
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone in the room, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
just
used to like talking about it,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know this.
Well, next time you watch a concert, you'll see a bunch of amps at like foot
Facing.
level facing
Yeah.
the
Okay.
band.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. now.
Yeah. Yeah, because the speakers are always in front of the
Yeah.
stage. So,
So
like
in theory,
the speakers
if
pointing
you
out.
had no monitors, would it be kind of quiet up there and then just blasting out in
It
front
would
of you?
just be probably not that good.
Yeah, and bad
Yeah.
for that reason.
But yeah, it
too.
would
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
it would be not very amazing. But
Noted.
No, this is stuff I just
Then
like
you just take note. Yeah.
never even thought
Yeah.
about, because
yeah.
to the extent of me playing music was pretty bush league, so to say the least.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to you. What? Okay, you're nominated for a bunch of awards, right?
For one.
One.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But
let's go with a
that's more
bunch.
than zero. So.
For 67 awards.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, tell us about the bunch of awards.
Yeah, for the BC Country Music Association.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm nominated for Emerging Artist of the Year.
Nice.
No.
Yeah. So be
Tell us
pretty
about
cool.
that.
Well, we had a pretty busy year. Yeah, I think it's like the first year where we've actually gotten traction, which has been cool. So to be kind of recognized, because you do all this stuff and you're kind of hoping like the people who need to understand what you're
Hear it or
doing
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a little validating to kind of be recognized.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it'll be good. It'll be like a really full weekend next weekend. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Exciting.
it. Mm-hmm.
This will be so. We can. This will be released after that, so we might have to change the description from BCCMA nominated
Ooh.
artist, or not to put the pressure on,
Ah.
but we'll leave it at nominated. And
Let's just say we won and call it a day.
okay, no one look it up.
No one Google it.
Just no.
Take my word for it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll put a little
I
asterisk.
also
thing.
won all those 67 awards.
Nice. Good job.
Awesome. So, like, as a Alberta guy, right? When I think of Vancouver, I don't really think of
I was gonna say.
country music epicenter. So,
Yeah.
but that's just is that where
Um,
the industry is, or the labels are?
I don't really know. I've been trying to kind of figure this out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I ended up staying in Vancouver solely because I made connections there, and that's where my base is. And I think if I moved back here, I'd kind of, like, to an extent, have to start from scratch on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the community, here too, the country music community is so small. It's bizarre.
Oh, really?
Which I didn't really,
Oh boy.
Talking about
I don't know. Alberta.
Alberta versus
BC.
BC. Yeah. For the country scene. So you were saying, sorry, that the country scene in Vancouver is small, or the country scene in general is small?
So Kind of both.
Okay.
Yeah, like the country scene in Vancouver is very small.
Yeah.
Or BC, I guess. But yeah, like the Canadian country music scene is, I think, yeah, because I think it's association based, whereas other genres, I guess, don't have that same kind of thing. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
So explain what association based means.
So
Yeah. If I
like
knew what
you're-
that means,
Yeah.
maybe it made sense.
it seems like now that I'm a part of the associations, it almost feels a little bit more accessible because you're you're in rooms with people you need to be in rooms with and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So I kind of think like at this point, since my connections with like venues and stuff are all out there, it makes more sense
Gotcha.
than maybe Alberta, where like you have Stampede, it's like a country music hub, right?
Yeah.
Like we walked out that door the other day, and my brother put his cowboy boots on, and I was like, oh yeah, like
Yeah, people kind of do this.
Oh
It's
yeah,
Yeah.
we live in Texas.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it caters more to country music, whereas in BC it's like there's like a country night, versus
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
bar you go to playing country.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I don't know. I kind of try to come up with like different ideas as to why maybe like Vancouver is a good option for me, I guess. Like I think
Yeah.
I think if you're doing something good and kind of making waves a little bit, it might to an extent be easier to like stand out, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
But I honestly don't really know.
Right.
It's one of those things where you're just kind of like, well, it's working right now, so
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
see
Well,
what happens.
yeah. And then I'm just thinking as you say that, because there's not really a like Canadian hip hop music association or BC
Yeah.
hip, right? It's
Fair statement.
so-
Yeah,
Fair statement.
there's kind of Canada-wide, like CARAS, which is the Junos Association
Okay.
type stuff, whereas, I mean, country artists still are part of that. So that kind of like bleeds into everything, which is nice as a country artist because you can just sign up for everything, whereas like a pop artist isn't going to be in the CCMAs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know if that made sense.
Kind of. I don't know. To me,
did,
it does.
It
I
did
feel
more
like I
that
know.
you explained the association thing.
Well, I don't know. The music world's kind of funny, where it's not quite as before you got involved in this. I thought it was quite free market, if you will, but it's actually there's all these boards and directors and
Yeah,
yada,
like it
yada,
is.
yada.
I mean,
So,
as a whole, kind of like anything else, pretty political, and yeah, very connection based.
yeah,
So you kind of never know who you're talking to.
right. Yeah.
So like you're sitting in a lobby with somebody and like just chatting, and you just really have to watch your P's and Q's because.
yeah. God, I fucking hate that.
Yeah,
guy. Oh, hey,
exactly.
man.
It'd be so easy to be like, he sucks, hey?
yeah. I'm actually him. So,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, exactly.
because you don't know what
That's
they're
the
like
worst.
or-
Yeah.
I've done that at least 10 times in my life.
Oh yeah.
You recalled that pretty quick. So,
It is so. When you catch yourself saying the wrong thing to the wrong person, you
Yeah.
just think
ooh.
that was
like
dumb.
every single Monday
Yeah.
night when we record this
exactly.
podcast.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
6:30, yeah,
Exactly.
on Mondays.
I know you always conversation remorse. There we go. Full
Yeah,
circle.
there you go.
Yeah.
Good callback.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
You're learning fast.
Well, I mean, people only ever see the finished product, right? Like they only ever see
Yeah.
what's on the radio or whatever,
Yeah.
or on Spotify or wherever
Yeah.
you release music. Like they don't see the the come up or anything.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. It's very behind the scenes type stuff, and you don't talk about it. You're like, it's fine. I'm not stressed.
It was
'cause I've got-
effortless.
I've
It
got
was
people.
effortless.
It's fine. They're like, so like, does your team how does your team work? And I'm like, my team. Oh, everybody's really good.
Yeah.
Like make yeah.
Make
like,
it sound like a bigger oration. than you are.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of you're creating that. Not that it's an illusion, but you're creating an illusion to an extent, right? You need because you're legit or whatever, but like other people don't know that
Sure.
Yeah.
unless you try and make
Tell
them see. Yeah, I'm legit. Hire me, please.
Yeah. Pretty please.
Yeah. So It's kind of a weird industry in that sense. Like, it's the total social media thing where they're like, you only see people's best lives on social media.
Yeah.
It's like, totally. You need to make it seem like you're doing so much better than you are, and you're not like something that maybe you're not excited about. You need to post, be like, I'm so excited to do this, even when you're like, oh, this is gonna suck.
I'll remember that when you post about being on this podcast.
Wait a minute.
We had so much fun.
These guys are great. So first album dropped. You had a tour.
Yeah.
Sophomore album in the works now. Is that the right lingo to use?
Are you like doing this as a university career or something?
Well, no, you say that,
Sophomore.
right? Sophomore album, your follow-up album. They say
To be
sophomore.
honest, you know when you watch the movies in the States and they're like, I'm a sophomore now.
Yeah.
I never
Don't
knew
even know
what
what that
meant.
means.
No,
Yeah.
I'm like, so grade 10?
Freshman?
Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior for college.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it is. So sophomore is second.
Year.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'm the band when we were doing the first album. They're like, "Well, Tay, you need to start thinking about the second album." And I'm like, my
Like,
head is
one
exploding
thing
right
at
now.
a time.
Yeah, I think I'm finally like, that's what we're kind of doing right now. Like, just writing lots and trying to rebuild, I guess, because you go out on tour and you sing the same songs and all that. So
you kind of use it in a way, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now it's, I mean, for musicians it's different. Like I
Yeah.
think, like comedy, for example. As a stand-up comedian, once you record your 1 hour special, you can pretty much never use that again, which is kind of a stark opposite. Like you can always have your classic tunes or whatever,
Yeah.
but it is kind of
yeah.
done now. It's
Yeah,
old news
we've been
in a way,
singing
right? So
we've been singing some of those songs on the album for 4 or 5 years.
Mhm.
So yeah, so now it's kind of in that rebuilding stage. So I think obviously I'm setting my sights on singles right now, but I know that yeah, I'll have to get to work on another album
for
soon.
for sure.
It's hard because once you get the ball rolling,
Yeah.
you can't let it stop. So,
Absolutely, yeah. But
Yeah.
I think you're probably more at that stage where singles are probably more crucial for really breaking through. Would you
I
say
would
so?
agree. Yeah, I think
Because that's usually how artists work. It's a couple singles, then they kind of merge that as an EP, and then you have your real
exactly,
first
which is what we did
real
with
first album,
with the
no
singles
offense, right?
to radio. Yeah. So I think right now I'm kind of focusing on singles. Like I wanna kind of play to that commercial side a little bit and see what we can do, because I think a lot of times in the business it becomes the name, not the song, right? So you could have somebody release an absolute terrible song and they would probably still play it because it's the name, right? So
Definitely.
Well, it's kind of okay. This is now in our circulation or our rotation or whatever.
Exactly.
And,
So Garth Brooks could literally release anything and people would play it.
But he won't, because I love Garth Brooks.
Yeah, it's
well,
true.
no, but then what was his like? We're a little young to, but
Chris, whatever the fuck it was.
Chris something. Remember he like wore a wig and
And a
tried to
green
rebrand
and black shirt.
What?
Garth Brooks.
Oh, God, what was it?
No. That's a
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. Hang on.
He didn't, like, and it wasn't country music.
Yeah.
It was, oh, you're going to say the name and
I'll come back.
He tried to rebrand?
Chris
Gaines.
Gaines. Chris Gaines.
That was Garth Brooks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I can't really turn my kind of. He had this like emo, edgy look going on. Yeah.
You never heard about that?
He kind of. I don't know if it was a rebrand or like
Yeah.
a side project or something. It was.
That's a, like,
That's funny.
total
I didn't know
180
that.
type of thing.
Yeah. One-off fictional rock persona created as an alter ego for Garth Brooks to explore his musical styles far removed from his success as a country singer. So.
Start doing
He can do
electronic
whatever he
music.
wants, whatever.
Yeah.
Starts doing electronic
Yeah,
music
exactly.
or something.
Yeah.
You never heard about that?
No.
Yeah, it was
That
like,
was quite a while
That's
ago.
hilarious.
But,
Yeah.
I had no idea. Well, like, and Garth Brooks has got it made.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's got an XM channel, and he can just play all his songs.
Mhm.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
He maybe you don't know. Do you know who Tom Segura is? He's a comedian.
No.
No. Okay. So he had this. Do you know about this? Where he was on a tear for a while, just making fun of Garth Brooks, because
Nope.
Oh, well. So Tom Segura is this comedian. If you look him up, he looks vaguely like Garth Brooks. And then Garth Brooks was on this big social media tear trying to connect with his fans, but he just comes off like a sociopath. Like he seems so unwarm and friendly.
I remember the videos and stuff, right?
Yeah. Because he's trying to be nice and you can see it, but I think he's just been so famous for so long that he doesn't know how to be a normal human anymore, right?
He's just detached,
But then they would like do the deep fakes with either Garth Brooks' face on Tom Segura's face or Tom Segura and Garth Brooks. And I don't know, it's just really funny. And then Tom Segura would pretend to act like Garth Brooks is really awkward social media guys. Like, hey, we just finished performing at the blah, blah, blah. Like, it's, you got to look it up. It's so
That's funny. Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah.
He's a guy where you'd be like, how much is like a coffee? And he'd be like, I don't know, $500, right? Like he has no idea what normal life is like. So,
it's so true. He is so famous.
Yeah, exactly.
So famous. Yeah.
You know what was really strange was at his concert here, as he was coming out, they had this kind of intro video playing, but it was showing his stats. It was, X World Tours, 19 platinum albums, however many million singles sold.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of just reading it. And I'm like, we fucking know. It's Garth Brooks. We're all here to see him. He has like 7 sold-out shows, right? You don't need to reiterate this. It was very weirdly self-serving.
So true. Yeah.
That was actually Celine Dion in Vegas, too.
Oh, yeah?
Actually?
Right, yeah, before the show. It was like, this is a show 1060 or something. And it was just,
Wow.
it was just bonkers.
Yeah. Well, it's as if you don't know they're highly successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They built Caesar's Palace, like the stadium at Caesar's Palace for Celine Dion.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Oh, really?
yeah, we're all here. We know what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
you could just go on stage already.
Yeah. It's so funny. Yeah.
Get on with it.
But that's the thing. That's the bubble, right? Like
Yeah.
you're kind of past the point of like critique,
Yeah. You don't need
which
to.
is sick. I want to be there.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. But for now, you have to say BCCMA nominated artist Taylor-Rae.
I think it's just a mental state. You're already there.
Yeah.
Already.
You just gotta, be
gotta-
like,
yeah.
I'm already
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
No, it is true. Well, on some days you're like, yeah, I'm the bomb.
Yeah. I am the
And then-
greatest who has ever lived.
Yeah.
And then the next day, you're like, oh, I suck.
Yeah.
That's me every single day of
yeah.
my life.
Yeah.
Honestly.
A couple times a day, honestly.
I know. It's
So,
like this weird roller coaster. You're like,
yeah.
I wake up feeling good, but then it's like a downhill thing. And then it gets close. Like you have like a good dinner and you're like, oh, I feel good again. Okay.
I started the day off
And
so
repeat.
strong.
Yeah,
damn it.
exactly. So true.
I woke up today. It was a good day.
It's always, yeah. I find that I always tend to get a reality check. If I'm like moody about something, something dumb will happen where I'll like, this one day I was so rattled. I didn't even know why. I was just like, everything sucks. I hate this. I'm walking with my grocery bag. I don't see the curb. Step right off the curb, flat onto my knees. Eggs fall out, break. And I'm like, oh, God. The worst. And then somebody starts running up to me because it's a scene. You know when you try to recover quick even though you're like in a lot of pain?
Yeah.
was
Act like
trying
it
to-
didn't just happen.
Yeah. I look around to see if anybody saw me. I see this man running up. He's like, oh, no, did you have eggs in there? Like, I'm fine, sir. Thank you.
Are the eggs okay?
It's kind of like when you drop a baby.
Oh.
What? What?
No, there's this. You have to see that Netflix comedy special, Anthony something or other. I'll send it to you. Both. It's hilarious. It just came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to go into the bit because it's his bit, so I'm not going to do somebody else's
Right.
You
bit.
can repeat it for context because you look pretty bad right now with that last comment. So
Essentially,
Just
he's
dig
like,
yourself
yeah,
out of
yeah,
that
yeah.
hole.
Just keep
Slowly
digging.
but
No,
surely.
so he's doing his bit, and he's just like, I hate that America, like in this time of how bad things are in America, that people get so worked up about the tiniest things. And he just pauses. He's like dropping a baby. Like, why would you get so worked up about that? And he just goes into like a 15-minute tear on this. It's really funny. It's really funny.
okay.
I'm not gonna
All right.
You had
we'll
to be
need
there.
You had to be there.
go check it out for context.
Josh is not a sociopath.
This
Anthony
podcast
from
is sponsored
Netflix.
by Anthony from Netflix.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I have a
Anyways.
question for you.
Yep.
So, because your album is independent, is
Yep.
that correct to say?
Yeah.
So, for copywriting or copy striking something on, say, YouTube, I don't know, YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
would you have to?
where he's going with
Would you have to go through and like do that yourself, sort of thing?
No,
Or how? Or do you
so-
have the ability to do that
The
anyways?
the distro company does it. The distribution company.
Thank you.
That
I got it the first time.
That,
I was
I
pretty
did
sure,
get
but
it
I'm
the
like,
first
who
time.
would that be?
yeah,
Okay,
that distributes the music.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's kind of like there's a bunch of different companies you go through basically. So you kind of find the ones that do stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
But
gotcha.
I get copyright notices on my own stuff.
What?
Which is for me really bizarre. I'm like, I'll get like an
I'm
email
me.
like your YouTube video Nashville official music video has been flagged for copyright something, and I'm like,
Oh no.
What?
that's
Can you
mine.
go look?
They're like, don't worry, it won't be taken down. I'm like, yeah, nice, great, thanks.
But who? What? But I think this shows a decent flaw in the YouTube algorithms.
It's kind
and
of
stuff.
weird.
Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah, it's like the distro. I feel like the distro company should have maybe a part of it should say like, what's your YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
so that we don't flag it.
Because I think that's an automated process
Yeah,
as far as
totally.
It's
we can tell.
robots.
Yeah, because you could probably be like, "Hi, yeah, it's me, Taylor-Rae.
Yeah.
Released the single Nashville." Like this is kind of a weird self-creating loop here. Okay.
It's so bizarre.
That's funny actually.
But I
Yeah.
mean, whatever.
We because I mean we don't get, we get good YouTube views for a local podcast, but
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of the world, our YouTube views are quite low. But all of our videos, or most of them, have been copyright struck or whatever.
Actually?
And we didn't even notice. Josh sends me. He's like, the other day, he's like, "Hey, I think our videos all got copy struck," because he sends me a picture of it, and it's like copyright claim, copyright, because we just use random music and stuff.
Oh.
So with
Oh
that,
my
which
God.
is, but I thought someone had to go through and like submit a claim. I'm like, oh, we're small enough, who cares? And
Yeah.
it's not like we
Yeah.
actually don't even have the minimum subscribers or views to actually get ads in the first
Totally.
place.
Yeah.
But it still just automatically does it. I
That's
don't know.
so
It's kind
funny.
of funny. So yeah.
Yeah, they're quick on that. Those
Yeah, they're-
robots.
Those robots.
Yeah.
But they have like it's always the right song. It's always
Yeah.
yeah, and it'll always say like Warner Media or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You
quite,
guys got to
I
hit
don't
that public domain.
Mm-hmm.
Got some
yeah.
good stuff on there.
We're working on. we're getting away from that. So yeah.
Public domain.
Public domain. Just have like she'll be coming around the mountain as our intro song.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday's
Literally.
not public domain. That's like a neat fact. It's actually
Actually,
yeah.
Not
Hap-
yet.
that's weird.
Happy birthday is yeah, it's not public domain.
Weird.
Yeah.
It is an interesting site to look through. The public
Which is sorry.
domain.
Oh, okay.
Is it just
Yeah.
called the public domain?
I would Google public domain song list or something like that.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty funny. It's
Huh.
I mean, it's a lot of stuff you've never heard of.
Love's old sweet
Yeah.
song.
Hush little baby.
Don't you cry. That's how we're gonna
Yeah,
start.
I was just gonna say that's a good lead-in.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's our.
Yeah, or we could flash mob it.
Yeah.
3-part harmony.
Or we could use like the Grease song. Just kidding, because that's gonna get us copy
Yeah.
struck.
Yeah.
Copy struck. Is that what it's called?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Weird. I didn't know that.
But it's also
It's not like it really matters.
no.
we just
But
like.
well, it
Apparently, he
affects
doesn't
our-
like seeing red on on YouTube Studio.
No, it's because I believe it affects our organic reach, so you won't pop up in people's recommended.
Really?
Right? So yeah, if it gets flagged or whatever.
That can't be, because PewDiePie shows up all the time.
That's weird,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh no! Oh, you know what? No. It's if your video gets flagged for inappropriate content versus copyright. But I just kind of want to play nice with YouTube's algorithms. Please show our videos, YouTube overlords. So yeah. No, I have a friend who she talks about controversial topics on her channel, so it always gets flagged as inappropriate or whatever.
Gotcha.
Oh, but we swear, so it would anyways, so it doesn't show in the.
I've sworn like once in this entire
Yeah,
episode.
but it's still
man.
marked explicit on. Yeah. Well, that's a nice
Is it
part.
actually?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That's funny.
Yeah, on for Apple and Spotify and stuff, you should be marking it as explicit or whatever.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you mark it explicit yourself.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
Gotcha.
exactly. Yeah. So
I was like, there's
Do
no
you?
way YouTube. What?
Do you market yourself as explicit?
yeah, parental advisory, with the little sticker.
Yeah. Please do not listen to the song Heart in
Yeah.
Different Places if you're under 18.
Yeah.
That'd be a way
You're
to
pretty all ages friendly. With
I was
yeah,
gonna
I
say-
know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say that'd be a way to differentiate yourself as a country artist.
Well,
is
that'd be good.
put the explicit
really
label.
edgy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Parental
Yeah.
advisory. Yeah.
Make it
Yeah.
even harder. Why not make
Why
myself
make it easy
different
on
in
yourself?
the worst
Yeah.
way?
Yeah, exactly. Country album with the most swears. Guinness
Yeah.
World Record.
I'll come back next year. I'm rebranding right now.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
hardest country album
Yeah.
of all time.
Yeah.
Taylor-Rae.
Yeah. So that answers the sophomore album question.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be in a few years because I have no content yet for that. Yeah.
Working on it.
Yeah.
On it. So, yeah. Awesome. So, yeah, I guess so. You have BCCMAs.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? What's after that?
That's the question, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. Right now we're booking for like 2020
Sweet.
stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, and just kind of
Gigs, or are
planning.
you guys gonna tour again?
We're gonna tour again.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And just like gig locally, obviously. But
Mhm.
yeah, more so trying to keep up with the like productive tour dates, you know? So you're
What does
not
that mean?
so when you go places, a lot of times like if you're playing a local show, I mean,
Mhm.
you have the same kind of people coming out to everyone. And so you're not exactly, I mean, people
It's
are
not
seeing
new
yeah,
audience.
people are seeing your
Okay,
name,
yeah,
but they're
yeah,
not
yeah.
like you're not really expanding your base.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
more so going to places like festivals and Stampedes, stuff like that.
Oh,
where
okay. So
people-
an engaged
people are there.
audience,
Yeah.
but hasn't heard of you. Sort
Yeah,
of thing.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of the goal for the next year, and obviously, I mean, getting a couple more songs out. But
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Very nice.
yeah, yeah.
Where's your
so-
favorite place you've ever played?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Honestly,
First
probably,
one of the podcast.
Yeah. Speak for yourself.
like my album release show was awesome just
Yeah.
because of the show.
Mhm.
But as far as like touring wise, I would say the Edmonton show at the station
Okay.
was super super
Pretty
fun.
like legit nice venue, I think.
It's great. Yeah,
I'm sure it's probably pretty good
yeah,
as an artist, right? So,
yeah. And we had such a like it was cool. It was the first hometown show, so
Mhm.
it was pretty fun. Yeah,
Excellent.
Yeah. I was gonna say hometown is probably always gonna be.
yeah.
that'd be fun.
Your
Yeah,
hockey
well,
players
because it was
hanging
kind of
hometown
like-
Absolutely.
type of
People are
thing.
like, "Oh, that's so fun! You do that like singing thing out there in Vancouver." 'Cause people are always like, "So you still doing the music thing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't realize this is something that I was like not doing anymore." So, so yeah,
Yeah,
so
Come to
this
my
is-
show.
yeah,
This is
so
some cute little thing that I'm just
yeah,
doing.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it was cool to like come here and actually show everybody who wouldn't really have the opportunity to understand what
Mhm,
I do
mhm.
and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
show up and have a good show. It was
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. If you from like outside looking in, because obviously, like,
Yeah.
we've been friends this whole time, like
Yeah.
seen it. But if someone who hadn't last time they saw you play was like at the Mike Day Classic opening ceremony in high school when
Yeah.
you were singing whatever song you sang
we were
all
singing,
the time.
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Taylor-Rae. Like I haven't heard from her in a while, and then it's
Yeah.
like, oh wow, you're actually on the radio and
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's pretty funny. At the show, I saw like a couple girls from high school who haven't seen in probably since high school.
Right.
And they're like, "Yeah, you've gotten so you've gotten so much better since high school." And I was like, "Oh, good God, I hope so. Thank you."
Yeah.
Like, but for some of them, that's like their last
Yeah.
memory of it.
interaction or
Yeah.
whatever.
So,
yeah,
which is
for
so
sure.
bizarre because
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in it, and I'm like, we do this all the time, so it's kind of
Been
funny.
so,
to,
come so far, right? So,
yeah, yeah. So it's good, but I'm just trying to match last year. Like last year was a good year, so I'm trying to make it so this year is like just as
At least
kind
do
of
the same, maybe
yeah,
more.
Yeah, exactly. Like
right.
keep going further instead of, because I don't like the feeling of just plateauing.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I get I get anxious about it. I'm like, oh God, we're not doing anything. My parents like, Tate, you just came off the tour. I released an album. Chill out.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. That's probably a good mindset to have as an artist.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people
Absolutely.
who were grinding it out for a long period of time might have had, first album tour or whatever, and be like, I'm legit now. Like,
yeah, totally.
this is it. I have made it, right? Like, kind of,
Yeah, exactly. So, well, and it's kind of it's weird because I spent the last 2 years doing the album and like planning the shows and planning the tour and stuff like that. That after that, I still find it even now. Like I'll be sitting at my computer just staring at it because I'm like, what do I do now? It's so weird. Like your whole your whole day to day changes because you're not. Yeah.
Well, that took up so much of your time for so long.
Exactly.
Right? So, definitely,
exactly. So
yeah,
it's pretty bizarre.
No, absolutely. Well, it's almost 5 here, so do you have to?
Sure. Yeah. I do need to take off. Dinner time, bro.
Yeah. Thanksgiving weekend problems. So, yeah. So, where can people find you, Taylor-Rae?
Oh yeah, they can find everything to do with like shows and all that at taylorraeofficial.com, and so social media is all Taylor-Rae Official as well.
All one word.
One word will work. Yeah.
You'll find it.
Except for Twitter, because Twitter's like the lost social media.
Oh yeah.
That one's Taylor-Rae_16. I just retweet stuff about my sister.
Oh. Yeah. Do you even use that one?
Not really.
Twitter is kind of a weird. I feel like it's not for any kind of small business. Let's call it.
Yeah.
It's not practical. Like I feel like Twitter's for
probably
famous people and
totally.
sports. Like,
Yeah,
it's more
it's
of
really,
a time waster.
I only use Twitter if I hear like a Big Bang and I'm like, oh, what's the Big Bang?
Yeah,
and I
Google your address
hashtag
or
Big Bang
search
Vancouver.
Big Bang. Yeah, or just like kind of type it. Twitter is actually good if you're driving home and there's like crazy traffic and you just search in the Twitter search like what street you're on.
I was
and
just
then
gonna
it's
say
like,
that.
Yeah.
Why is there police at
at X address?
It's
X street.
like super good for that.
Yeah.
And shout out to those people who actually use it to inform us on stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's
Not
great.
just us leeches who
Yeah.
just looking up what we need to. But,
on my Twitter, you can find a couple old Vines. For a hot minute, I was bound and determined to be Vine famous.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
It obviously didn't go as planned.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure
Darn.
about that? Have you seen your Vine account?
Well, Vine's gone.
Yeah.
So,
Smarty pants.
anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool. What about, and what do we search on our favorite streaming platforms to find your album?
You can search Taylor-Rae or Backseat Driver, and everything should pop up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good,
Add me to your playlist.
Download.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Turn me on. Or wait.
Sorry.
Turn it on and don't stop it.
There we go.
That is
good choice of words.
There we go.
Yeah.
So that's Apple.
Yeah.
That's Spotify.
See, I knew I was going to say something I regretted, and there we go.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, you
almost
caught
made
it
it
pretty
out.
quick. It would have been better if you just said,
Just kept going.
if you said like, turn me on and don't stop, and then just kept talking, and we're like, Yeah. I think what she's saying is press play on her album and just let it
Just
continuously
shut your app,
loop
turn
for
your,
the rest
turn
of
your
your
volume
lives.
down.
Yeah. Turn off
Get
your volume.
those monthly
Yeah.
listeners.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Awesome. That's good. Are you still on any of the radio stations in Edmonton? Like on loop?
I think Leduc.
Leduc?
Okay.
The Leduc and Stony Plain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The one. Check it
You
out.
can find it on CBCXM too,
Oh yeah.
which is
Nice.
can be local.
Technically, it's
If
local
you're in
wherever
North
you
America.
are. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have an XM package in your car.
Yeah. One of the
You-
ones you never paid for but still have 2 years later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those people can tune in. Awesome. Cool. Well, it's been fun. Thanks for coming, Tay.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
thank
having
you
me,
so
guys.
much.
Are extremely organized and well put together podcast. So.
I love it. And the mic setup is
And the camera just
top
died.
notch.
Oh, perfect. We timed that. Excellent. So.
Proving our point.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll get you back next year when you're super duper famous.
Yeah.
There we
So,
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun.
The 1 year clock starts now. So,
October 14th, 2020.
yeah, we'll see you there.
Looking forward to it.
Awesome.
I'll just roll up in my limo.
I like it. We'll have a really cool studio to like match as the famous
Okay.
level too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll
Give you guys a shout out.
big accountability system here.
Keep each other accountable
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
No, it's good.
Your social media influencers.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Alrighty.
See you next time. It's very long and hard this October, so to get you through the month, we have a very special offer from our sponsor, Mealcraft. Mealcraft is your meal delivery service in Edmonton that gives you affordable, healthy, and never frozen meals right to your doorstep. I am literally reading this right off my phone right now. You're busy, and Mealcraft understands that. Getting in 3 good meals a day is hard enough, let alone healthy ones, especially on a very long and hard October, because I know we are having a very difficult time right now.
Yes. It's depressing. It's long.
And it's hard. But
You.
Mealcraft makes it so much brighter, because whatever lifestyle you have, Mealcraft has the meals to fuel you and get you through your day. They have flexible packages to suit your needs. Check out their new menu items. You said X, Y, Z, and ABC.
Whoops. Didn't update that.
That's okay. Better yet, Long and Hard listeners get 25% off their first order today with the promo code Long N Hard. That's N 25. So that's LONG, the letter N HARD 25, and go get your first order of Mealcraft today.
Check them out. It's mealcraft.ca. Craft with a K.
Yeah, boy.
Now, wait just a minute. Before you go, just a sincere thank you for listening to the show. You can find new episodes of the Long and Hard podcast every Wednesday morning, about 9 a.m.-ish, give or take. Don't hold me to that. We really appreciate you subscribing. If your podcast platform allows you to leave a review, please leave us a kind review if you've enjoyed the content here. Just a reminder, Long and Hard podcast, you can also find our other shows, other channels, the Millennial Homeowner podcast hosted by me, and the Invictus podcast hosted by Josh. If you head over to our website, longandhardpodcast.com, and see our other shows there. Once again, a quick reminder that Thomas Harrington and Joshua Blaze are licensed real estate professionals in the province of Alberta, and any discussions here involving real estate are not intended to solicit buyers or sellers under contract. And just a friendly reminder, hey, this is a conversation. This show is not intended to be legal or professional or medical or any other kind of specific advice. Please consult a relevant professional in said area before acting on anything or any ideas you might get here. Thanks for listening as always, and we'll see you next week. Peace.